What's going on, everyone? Welcome into a live show of the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, getting you guys ready for Week 2 against the Jets. The Browns will be 2-0 for the first time since 1993. No, that season did not end particularly well, but who cares? That was the 90s. We're going to have a blast on today's show. We're going to catch you guys up on everything going on in Berea. Plus, we're going to have a preview for this Week 2 clash between the Browns and the Jets. And as always, a live mailbag where we get to chop it up and have a nice two-way conversation talking about the Brownies. So, let's start the show off by just letting the audience build up a little bit. Everyone gets to click on the notification and join the show. Predict the score. Browns, Jets. Who do you think's going to win this one and by how much? I may have like lightning strike tip of my penis kind of deal because Week 1 sort of called it. Cade York, the Yorker baby. So I've been thinking a lot about how I want to go about this score prediction. Want to keep it hot here. I'll save it for the real in-show, but let me know what your score prediction is. Ray thinks it's going to be 31-12 Browns. Tim says 31-17. Jacoby Brissett's going to score 4+ touchdowns? I don't know. All right, Josh, you're the first one to notice it. No polo. No, it's not. I know what you're thinking. It's a Amari Cooper jersey. Is this good for the camera? Can we see this, Seeps? There you go. So this was what I wanted to have Week 1. And then shout out to China. This thing sat in whatever port it was for way too long. But then I came home Monday night and it was at my doorstep. So just missed it. So I'm going to have this for our Week 2 live watch party. If you weren't there last week, make sure you join us this week. All right. Appreciate the kind words, Gregory. Leo thinks it'll be 28-14 Browns. John's going 30-14 Browns. Josh is a funny guy. 69-420, baby. He's still in school. All right, Matthew thinks the Browns. I think everyone said the Browns so far. I don't think that's a real hot take, right? I don't think so. Now, it's not the sexiest matchup if you look at it between the quarterbacks. Jacoby Brissett versus Joe Flacco. But that's what you're looking for the Browns. You don't want to have a huge, sexy QB matchup early on. Let this team get into a bit of a rhythm, figure out their offense and defensive identity before they go into more of the meatier part of their schedule without Deshaun Watson. All right, it's a staple. You guys know it's coming. Shout out your city. Let me know where you are watching from. I've been talking so much. No free sponsors, but I'm already getting a little thirsty. Where is everyone watching from today? Gregory is in Salem, Ohio. Chat Sports offices are located in downtown Dallas. That's where producer Patrick Seatman and I are hanging out. Ray's in Peoria, Arizona. Max is in Mingo Junction, Ohio. Herman's in Cleveland. Charles in Fairborn. North Canton from John. Cortland from Andrew. Mike's in Worcester. Scorpion's in Brooklyn, baby. Scorpion, have you been to Grimaldi's Pizza? Because there's no good pizza in Dallas. My favorite pizza joint is actually a chain from Brooklyn called Grimaldi's. And producer Patrick, he moved down here a couple months ago, and he was adamant that it was some other pizza spot. So I said, no. Reserve your Friday night for this. We're going to Grimaldi's. It was fantastic. Okay. Yes, man, it's amazing. You agree with me. All right, D Curious is in Tampa. Ryan, appreciate the kind words. Michael's in San Antonio. Keith is in South Jersey. David's in Minster. Brian's in West by God, Virginia. The best pizza place is Angelo's in Lakewood. All right, shout out your favorite pizza spot. While we're having this, actually segues. Let's go to that. You know which one. This brings me to a nice conversation because I want to keep it real with you guys. We could just purely talk about football 24/7, and I'm fine with that. But I also think it's important to keep the conversation light at times and not just drown in X's and O's. So with that wonderful transition, pick one to cut because we all had our preseason to figure out, getting back into the flow of football, right? In terms of where you want to sit on your couch, getting the rhythm and timing down of when CBS goes to commercial and you want to flip either to Red Zone or Fox, having that mental clock, right? We're all getting back into it. If you had to cut one, which one would it be? Wings, pizza, chips, and dip. With that, we welcome producer Patrick Seatman on.
Yeah,
Patrick, before we really jump into Brown stuff, the hard-hitting questions today.
This
Pick one to cut, baby.
I've been sitting on this one since about 10 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, Patrick saw it in the doc, and he's like, whoa, we're hitting big stuff here.
I was originally, you look at it, chips and dip. It's such like an easy one to be like, get that out of here. But then again.
Chips and dip, ready? Chips and dip is special teams. You need it.
Yes.
It may not be the sexiest. I went full Colin Coward there. But chips and dip is crucial to what you're doing.
And
it's the little things.
I think the wings is the modern day NFL offense.
Yeah.
I think you need wings. Like, you need wings. I'm going to have to cut pizza.
I agree.
I know it sucks.
I've seen a lot of pizza too. Here's why. Ready? Scenario. Okay, I'm not Step Brothers, okay? Nancy sees me coming out of the shower. No, scenario. You're going to, let's say, like, for example, your wife or your girlfriend is saying, hey, my coworker is having a Browns watch party. We'll all watch football on Sunday. Will you come with? And you're like, I'm getting major anxiety about the idea of going somewhere new to watch football. I need to know what I'm walking into because otherwise I'm not going. You get down there, you're in this guy's basement, and as you come down the stairs, you see no wings. Immediately you're going to deflate a little bit. As opposed to if he's like, hey, beer's in the cooler, wings are over there. I can manage. We can make this work.
But also, good point. Because if you walk down into that basement and it's only wings and pizza, you got nothing to snack on.
Yeah.
Like, you can kind of snack on wings, but
imagine, like, what a fat ass. I mean, if you snack on pizza, that's a bad. Yeah. Those are bad calories.
I mean, you can snack on pizza.
But like chips is just like I just have one. I don't feel like a lard. But pizza's like a commitment. All right, we're getting a lot of hot takes in here.
Leo's saying next time put beer in there. Beer's an essential. You can't take beer.
Yeah, you really can't. And here's the thing: is that before this season, I actually wouldn't drink beer while watching football games because I called it my second job in terms of like focusing in. Then once I got this job. Well, it kind of became a staple of what we do here at Chat Sports. Yeah. But I used to be an adamant, I'm not drinking, I'm focusing. All right, let's talk football here. I hate that I have to ask this question. Honestly, I just want to see a bunch of sevens in the chat because it really shouldn't be a question to have. And this will be the last time we talk about it this week. Jacoby Brissett or Josh Dobbs. Pick a QB. I don't think Jacoby Brissett is unbenchable, right? He's not Tom Brady. But you're not benching Brissett because of what Dobbs did in preseason against third and fourth stringers. That's just a reality. I bet and I love Josh Dobbs. He went to my alma mater. I was a freshman. He was a senior at Tennessee. He let me down once or twice. Shout out to that Vandy game. Should have been in the Sugar Bowl. But you're rolling with Brissett, right? I think you have to be rolling with Brissett here. Okay. So with that out of the way, before we jump into the show, we've got a fun Super Chat menu today. No one has Super Chatted yet. If you're looking for more than just liking and commenting and subscribing ways to support the show, Super Chat's a great way to do that. Any sort of Super Chat, you get a shout out, get on screen. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. $5, it's a beers cheers, baby. Producer Patrick and I cheers to you. $10, I brought it back, baby. I brought it back. The dog bowl. We're drinking out of the dog bowl. $10. I pour it right in here, and boom. Lap that up like Kobayashi. Nom, 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 nom. And $20, it's show shots. Seeps, myself, we take shots of Fireball. We have a blast. We have a lot of fun here. We have football tonight. Chiefs, Chargers. I'm rolling with Kansas City. All right, we talked about this.
I'm rolling with the Chiefs, too. I think it's Andy Reid says, I'm the best head coach in the NFL type of game.
Yeah, I think Chiefs, when I saw -4, I was like, oh, so it's in L.A. And then I was like, oh, no, it's at home. It's only -4? That seems way too low. I know it's Herbert and good Chargers team, but no Keenan Allen.
So Vegas, so that means if it was in L.A., they would be favored by 2?
If it was it's not a guarantee. If it was in L.A., I bet it would be Kansas City -1.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet, 3 points is usually the home. Yeah. So that's probably my rough estimate. Okay, if you guys have some questions you want to ask, like Gregory already has, we got our first Super Chat. Let's get the party going, Ray. Let's roll. We'll put that on screen. if you want to get on screen like my guy Ray did, who is one of the Super Chat MVPs here at the Cleveland Browns Report, along with Soul Train and some other OGs of the channel, you get on screen, we love to see it. So, cheers to you, Ray, right now. We'll put your question on screen once Patrick's got the ones and twos on the computer figured out. But with that in mind, we'll have a mailbag later on. Use hashtag Browns to get on said mailbag. Here's what Ray had to say. Brissett will start to roll against the Jets. I think it is important for football fans to remember, we do this every year. We overreact to week one. Let me give you a quick example. Last season, Titans, Cardinals, week one, Nashville. Arizona beat the crap out of Tennessee. The Titans ended up being the number one team in the AFC last season without Derrick Henry. It just goes to show sometimes teams have to work some kinks out early on. Jacoby Brissett, we'll talk about him in our show. He had some good opportunities. If he capitalizes on one or two of those opportunities, instead of throwing for 147 yards and 1 touchdown, he throws for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is somewhat his ceiling, right? And that's fine. That's who he is. That's no problem for me. But cheers to you, Ray. Appreciate the support you show us here at the channel. It goes a long way. All right, here's what we have coming up. We're going to dive into the latest news and rumors. Plus, we'll have a full preview of Browns versus Jets. Get you guys caught up to speed on what to watch for, some keys to the game, and all that good stuff. And as always, we end with a mailbag. Use hashtag Browns or Super Chat to get that question on screen. All right, Producer Patrick, are we ready to rock and roll? Okay, well, Sept gets that all ready. First comment I see right here, Jim, Jets are garbage, dude. I don't know who you're talking to, Jim, but I concur. They are not very good. Robert Saleh might be the first head coach to get fired if things don't go well. No, I think Mike McCarthy's pretty close there. McCarthy's cheeks. All right, let's do this thing. Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, breaking down the latest news and rumors surrounding your Brownies. Now, today's show was filmed during our live show, which airs every Thursday at 4 Eastern. Make sure you tune in and join us next week so that you never miss a thing. And by the way, speaking of tuning in and joining us, we're going to be having another watch party because we set some Chat Sports records. I kid you not. During week one against the Panthers, let's break our own record like Myles Garrett might be doing this Sunday. Help me out if you're looking for a spot to watch the game, or have the game on your TV and throw us on your computer, phone, laptop, whatever, and just be a part of our live watch party. Click on this thumbnail come Sunday, 12:45 Eastern, and get locked in. First rumor on today's show we'll be covering. Will 2 records be broken on Sunday? I give this 3 Bernie heads. You might know what one record I'm talking about is. The other one is a bit of a, not as publicized, but it is Myles Garrett, who is 1.5 sacks away from tying the Browns record and 2 sacks away from outright becoming the Cleveland Browns all-time sack leader. It was never a question of if, just a question of when. Honestly, since the first pick back in 2017. He had 2 sacks on last Sunday against Baker Mayfield, including a forced fumble. And what's sweeter QB to sack twice, to become the Browns' all-time sack leader, than Joe Flacco, who is now with the New York Jets, who had success against Cleveland. Let's not sugarcoat it. It sucked for a long stretch. It was bad for a long period of time. Now Joe Flacco sucks, maybe he's being exposed for never really being all that good and being overpaid after that Super Bowl. But here's where Myles Garrett ranks in terms of the all-time Cleveland Browns sack leaders. He is right behind, hopefully, a future Hall of Famer in Clay Matthews. 1.5 sacks behind him. Michael Dean Perry weighs behind him, behind Garrett, that is, at 51.5. Listen, if Garrett doesn't get 2 sacks on Sunday against New York, fine. Get the other sack against Pittsburgh. Either way, I think it's some kind of a sweet justice, so to speak, of Myles Garrett breaks the record either against Joe Flacco, longtime Ravens QB, or Week 3, Thursday night at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But let's show Myles Garrett some love from all of us here. Type 95 if you think Garrett will break the record. I want to see more than 95s in the chat because I want someone in the locker room to go, hey, Myles, they're all rooting you on, dude. Bring some extra energy and some extra mustard this Sunday coming off the edge. Now, another record that is up for grabs, it's not number one, but it's still pretty close. It is Nick Chubb, who, frankly, I did the math. He'd have to average a ridiculous amount of yards to ever pass Jim Brown at number one. But he is not very far off from passing Kevin Mack at number 5. You can see there on your screen, Sergio Dip having the time of his life. But anyway, and once he passes Kevin Mack, might not be this Sunday, but it'll be over the next week or two. Greg Pruitt is not far ahead of him either, so I am guessing he will for sure finish after 5. But he's going to get to top 4 after the season, and then he'll have his sights set on number 3, Mike Pruitt. Leroy Kelly, that's a bit of a stretch right there to get to 7,000. Could happen, but yeah, that's a little bit ways down the road, okay? And with that in mind, another great follow on Twitter, by the way, Nick Carnes, who hosts an awesome Browns podcast, just putting out some good mojo into the universe, tweeting out Jonathan Taylor won last year's rushing title with 1,811 yards. Nick Chubb is currently on pace to rush for 2,300, basically 2,400 yards. Will he be able to sustain 141 yards a game? Probably not. It'll probably be closer to 200, right? If we're going to go that way. But no, it's fun to see that because Nick Chubb is off to a fantastic start. As expected, he is currently 4th on the NFL rushing leaderboard behind DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, and then Saquon Barkley, who is making a decent case for NFL Comeback Player of the Year. There's no QB who's coming off a horrible injury, unless I'm forgetting one, that's kind of a shoo-in, sort of like Burrow and Dak Prescott last year. So let's move on, though, to the next segment of today's show. The trade segment of the show. D'Ernest Johnson to the San Francisco 49ers. I'm only going to give this one Bernie head. It's more than fake news. Because when there's smoke, there's fire. But I haven't actually seen any smoke from where it's important, right? From the chimneys of Berea or Santa Clara. No, it's been from the chimneys of people online just connecting some dots. Because as Adam Schefter pointed out a couple of days ago, 49ers running back Elijah Mitchell is expected to be sidelined about 2 months. Now, you don't have to know a ton about football to know the 49ers just like to do one thing primarily, and that's run the football, right? And right now, they're a little bit thin at arguably their most important position, especially when you take into account Jimmy Garoppolo is not the QB. It's Trey Lance, who, whether you like him or you hate him, he is, in my eyes, a rookie QB that needs some help from the ground game. And he needs help from key members on his offense, like George Kittle, who is dealing with a groin injury. So might San Francisco decide to go out and acquire more of a proven back to back up Jeff Wilson? Because the last thing Shanahan wants to do after an 0-1 start is let this season get away from him because he doesn't have a good stable of running backs at his arguably most important position. Now, the Browns could probably live without D'Ernest Johnson. It's only been 1 week, so it's really hard to have big takeaways from what Stefanski and AVP's game plans are week in and week out, which is a small sample size. But D'Ernest Johnson did not touch the rock in week 1, so maybe we could see that happen here. But if a trade were to happen, I would pencil it in whereas like D'Ernest Johnson goes for like a 6th-round pick. You're not going to see a sexy return for an RB3, right? The 49ers, they don't have necessarily a ton of leverage here. The Browns could kind of dangle Johnson above him and go, hey, you desperately need a running back. You're down to 1 proven because the other 2 guys on your roster are rookies who we haven't seen a ton of, and you need to run the football to help Trey Lance get more accustomed to the NFL. We'll give you him, take him for a 6. But what do you think? Should the Browns trade D'Ernest Johnson? T for trade or P for pass? When it comes to trading Johnson, if he's just going to ride the bench all season, in hindsight, it makes sense, right? But on the same side, the other side of the coin, if something were to happen to Chubb or Hunt, Dearness Johnson is the best third-string running back in the NFL. You would feel very comfortable with him filling in for them. So let me know what your votes are down below in the comments section. Before we get to the rest of the show, I want to tell you about our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. They are back with us for another season, and they are back to giving the Dog Pound awesome deals, like a 125% deposit bonus by going to chatsports.com/bet, promo code Browns125. Now, if that's not a good enough reason for you to want to get partnered with them, how about this right here? You want a new Browns jersey? Like I'm rocking my new Amari Cooper jersey. You want to get Deshaun Watson home or away? Or say you want a Myles Garrett jersey. This could be yours by just getting started with BetUS. By going to chatsports.com/bet and using promo code Browns125 here at Chat Sports, on us, we're going to send you guys a free jersey. No hoops to jump through. Nothing like that. Just email us, jersey@chatsports.com, once you complete these steps. Signing up, have to go to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code. When you put 100 bones in, they give you an additional 125 on top. Make your first bet. Email us a screenshot of that first bet, jersey@chatsports.com. And here's the best part. Tell us what jersey you want, right? Do you want a Deshaun Watson jersey, a Myles Garrett jersey? What color? What size? And next thing you know, you will be in the Mooney lot with a brand new Cleveland Browns jersey. I've got mine on right now thanks to Chat Sports. You should do the same. That link is in the for the email is in the comments and the description of today's show. Okay, let's check out the final segment of the show now. Are the Browns beating the Jets this Sunday? I give this 3 Bernie heads. Producer Patrick was offended when I didn't do 4 Bernie heads for Believe One. But I have some good intel, right? Some good ears on the inside of the walls of the Cleveland Browns that Stefanski shows this show before every single meeting. And if I do 4 Bernie heads, that's going to make their heads way too big. Got to keep them a little bit hungry. Make them doubt them just the tiniest a bit to get them firing all cylinders. But talking about this Week 2 matchup, I absolutely do believe the Cleveland Browns are going to win this one. They're 6.5-point favorites. In my opinion, it is the NFL. Any given Sunday, Al Pacino, anything could happen. But if the Browns were able to defeat the Panthers on the road, and in my opinion was a tougher matchup, they should be able to handle the Jets. Now, there is something to be said about this Jets team that you don't want to sleep on necessarily, and that is that their defense under Robert Saleh, the second-year head coach, not half bad, right? Actually, in Week 1 against Baltimore, they held the Ravens to 63 rushing yards. Now, they have been known to get off to bad starts lately. 0-2 for the last 3 seasons. They lose on Sunday, make it 4. As for the Browns, they had the second most rushing yards in Week 1. So it's kind of oil and water, right? Which side is going to win? And the Browns looking for that first 2-0 start since 1993. Now, if that's not good enough reason right there as to why I think the Browns will get off to a good start thanks to their ground game, thanks to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, there is a lot of support from the players coming to the fan base right now. Amari Cooper was asked about what he expects to see out of fans from his first time playing in First Energy Stadium as a Cleveland Brown on Sunday. And he said, "From what everyone tells me, it's a crazy atmosphere. I can't wait." But what about someone who was with the team last season, like JOK? On his excitement for the first game at home, looking forward to the fans being very, very loud. Like very, very loud. So if you are going to the game, you know your job, right? Be loud on third down. Make life miserable for Joe Flacco and the New York Jets. I think the Browns are going to take this one, but who do you got? We'll end today's episode with this question right here. I think the Browns win this one 24-14. Similar offensive production as of last week, but the defense doesn't bend as much as they did in Week 1 in the fourth quarter. Let me know your score predictions down below. Let's give some shout-outs, guys. Who you got? I am thirsty. Ray thinks the Browns. Seeps?
So, little instant reaction to your video right there, PD.
Yeah.
I didn't know that stat that the Jets only gave up 65 rushing yards
Yes,
last week
they
to
were
the
good.
Ravens?
Yeah, I know. But I should have mentioned it.
Wow.
Baltimore didn't have J.K. Dobbins.
Still. I
So
mean,
it was Kenyon Drake being RB1. No Gus Edwards still in Baltimore. He's on the PUP list.
Uh-huh.
But nevertheless, the Ravens are a team that it feels a little bit more of like a system where you can toss anyone in there and they'll find a way. I mean, Justin Forsett rushed for over 1,000 yards half a decade ago.
Yeah.
And no one really had ever heard of him before that.
No. And
So-
plus, if you think of like top rushing teams, it's probably Browns, Eagles, Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they held the Ravens to
I
65
agree.
yards.
Yeah.
I agree with you with the 3 Bernie heads. I agree with the 3.
We
Don't
go
give
with the
them
3.
4.
If we do 4, they're going to be like big dick in the locker room energy. We cannot have that. We got a super chat. Let's go.
That's right.
Joshua Miller, one of the OGs here at the channel, sending in a super. Really appreciate all the donations we get here at the channel from all of you guys watching. Josh has his score prediction. He's got the Brownies taking down the Jets 31-14. I don't want to get carried away with Jacoby Brissett in the offense putting up 31. Maybe it's 24-14 and the defense scores a touchdown. That I can get behind. We got another super chat. Let's get the party started. Also, if you haven't liked the video yet, I don't know what you're doing. From the Brown Tiger, who I learned last week during our live show, is da-da-da, da-da-da. The Brown Tiger is a Cleveland Browns Clemson Tiger fan. Clemson sucks, dude. Sorry. I just ruined. You did not expect me to come out and say that in the middle of a Cleveland Browns show. But they are cheeks. All right. Who do you think? Browns, do you think they'll use a combo of Dobbs and Brissett this game to keep the Jets defense guessing? No, I do not think so. I think the Browns, they are married to Jacoby Brissett for 11 games. They should use every game like this against a lesser opponent to prepare him for the tougher opponents. The Chargers, the Bengals, the Ravens. Don't take any snaps away. Also, I've never been a fan of the 2 QB system. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. I hate it in college. I don't want to see it on Sunday. I appreciate the super chat. I know that Dobbs brings more athleticism and flair to the position. Maybe you'll see Dobbs come on the field and line up out wide as like a red herring, and then he just like a Jay Cutler, don't move, don't touch anyone, keep your hands to your side. Here's a super chat. We're drinking out of the dog bowl. Well, the last one was a $5 one, so I got to give cheers. D Flat. Sitting around, drinking some brews and talking Browns. I need this guy's job. I love what I do. I wake up every single day with a big smile on my face, and it's all because of what you guys are able to do for us here. There's no show without D Flat and everyone else tuning in. Now let me drink out of my homemade dog bowl while producer Patrick talks to you guys about his Vikings, who looked really good against the Packers. So this is now Vikings Today for 20 seconds.
We'll keep it Browns. I'll give my beers cheers, too, to you guys. We actually just crossed $20, so me and Petey got some shots coming up.
Oh boy.
We do have some shots coming up. Cheers to you guys. Thanks for the support. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah, but my Vikings, they did look pretty damn good against the Packers, but
yeah, FGB.
Yeah,
I mean, they
FGB.
dumped on them. The only thing, I'll put it this way: whenever you have a win like that, let's say take compared to Browns or Steelers, Browns, Ravens. Mm-hmm. When you dominate your rival, the only thing that could be a little sweeter is if you're like, if only that was on the road. Because then it feels like 2 wins.
Yes.
We're like, and the next time we face them, it's at home. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that can take those wins and like put them through the roof of like, not only do we kick their ass, it feels like 2, especially when you win week 1 on the road, it's like, well, we already got 1 road game out of the way.
Yep.
And it's a win too.
So where would you rather win, in Baltimore or in Pittsburgh? What's the sweetest one?
I would rather win in Pittsburgh. I think the thing with Browns fans, in terms to like fill Patrick in a little bit of like, you hate the Ravens, you hate the Steelers more. I think it's an age thing, honestly, right? Because the Browns, like franchise, moved to Baltimore, F. Art Modell, and as an older fan, you hate Art Modell and you hate the Ravens for that. But I wasn't around in the 90s all that much. I was there for 2 years, and I don't really remember it all that well. So I don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers because they tormented much more lately.
Yeah.
It's not like the Ravens haven't been any nicer, though. Okay, we got another super chat from the Brown Tiger. Clemson owns the Ohio State. Who's your daddy? I'm not a Buckeye fan. I mean, not necessarily, just because I went to Tennessee. I don't dislike Ohio State. But I'll let OH and IO defend themselves in the comments right now. Yeah, this is going to get nasty. There's not a good college football slate this weekend. Everyone's playing their FCS school, and that kind of sucks. But that's why NFL's king. Every Sunday is just a beautiful masterpiece. Okay, so with that in mind, we are going to jump into a preview for Browns versus Jets here. That sound right to you, Patrick? Okay, let me get everything on the ones and twos on our end ready to go. All right, so let's jump into a Cleveland Browns New York Jets preview. Welcome into our Browns Week 2 preview against the visiting New York Jets. You are watching the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson breaking this game down for you guys with my own twist and flair to it, with my own hot takes of keys to the game, right? What do the Browns need to do? Now, I said this in my preview last week, which is I am not a big believer in putting up just generic win the turnover battle. You think? Like, that's true a lot of the time. So I do my own deep dive research, the big analytics here, and break it all down for you. Now, if you are looking for a spot to watch this Sunday's game, whether you are out of market or if you are in market and you just want to be a part of a watch party, which is a ton of fun, join us this Sunday, 12:45 Eastern, 15 minutes before kickoff. We'll be having a blast. You can have the game on your TV, put us on your phone, computer, tablet, no problem at all. Just make sure you are with us throughout for the entire game on Sunday here at the channel. All right, keys to the game now. Let's jump into it. We'll go one by one. We'll start with number one, though. Go to the Chunt well. They were actually, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt asked about, what do they think of that nickname? And Kareem Hunt was like, all right. So, man, a few words right there. But in all honesty, Stefanski, don't overthink this. It worked very well in week 1 against the Panthers, where Nick Chubb on the ground put up 141 yards. And Kareem Hunt helped out, as always, in air support, receiving 4 receptions for 24 yards, and a receiving touchdown. This is one of the best 1-2 duos in the entire league. Now, the Jets were really good against the Ravens in week 1 at stopping the run. They limited Baltimore to 63 yards. And they've got some notable run stoppers like Quinnen Williams, a top pick for the Jets out of Alabama. C.J. Mosley, speak of the Crimson Tide. They've got some players that under Robert Saleh, he gets the best out of them. So the Jets, they are going to bring all they can to slow down the Cleveland Browns run game, because what the Jets were able to do against the Ravens in week 1 was pretty impressive. When you think of Baltimore, you usually think of running the football, and they did not do that well. Despite coming on top, you ask a Ravens fan, hey, how did week 1 go? A real one would be like, it was kind of shaky at first, actually. Now, they didn't have J.K. Dobbins. They're expected to have J.K. Dobbins in week 2, but that's beside the point. Kenyon Drake, Lamar Jackson, and Mike Davis were heavily limited on the ground. So for the Browns, it'll be crucial. And it's kind of, clash of titans in terms of just what we've seen out of a very small sample size. The Browns want to run the football. They are very good and effective at doing that. Wyatt Teller and Joel Bitonio, in my opinion, are the 2 best run-blocking guards. They are right there with Zach Martin from the Cowboys and what's-his-face from the Colts. I mean, this is, Quentin Nelson. This team is going to want to run the football down your throat. It'll be up to the Jets to stop them. Now, predict the score for me. Who do you think wins this game, and by how much? Get those score predictions in the comment section down below. I think the Browns are going to take this game in the neighborhood of 24-14. Hopefully no cardiac kids, episode again this Sunday, and you don't need Cade York to make it from 58, which, by the way, special teams coordinator Mike Prefer said, hey, had that 10-yard penalty be called against Jacoby Brissett, which it probably should have, they were confident in Cade from 68, and he would have been good from 68. So, next key to the game. I just want one deep ball from Jacoby Brissett. I'm not asking for a lot here. Just one. Jacoby Brissett in week 1, and sure, it's week 1. You're going to have some misfires. You're going to have some miscues. But he had some opportunities that he missed on. And it'll slide against some lesser teams like the Panthers. It won't slide against teams like the Chargers, Bengals, and Ravens. Allow me to show you guys. Let's show some tape here, right? This is early in the game. Donovan Peoples-Jones is just running right up the middle of the field. He has beaten his man, and there's Jacoby Brissett standing on his own 35. How does this play end? He decides to tuck it and run. Let it loose, dude. Fire it down the field. Now, this is who Jacoby Brissett is. You take the caution with the less interceptions. So, for better or for worse, that's what Jacoby Brissett's play style is. But then there are some times where when he does throw it, he's got to put it on the money, okay? Amari Cooper didn't have a great stat performance in week 1, but he did draw a pass interference in the end zone when he absolutely cooked his man, and that's worthy of a touchdown to me because Kareem Hunt rushed it in anyways. But here on this play, Amari Cooper beats his guy right off the get-go, right off the snap. Now you can see there is one high safety over the top. So what does Jacoby Brissett have to do here? He cannot put it way too far down the field. He cannot allow that one high safety leaning onto Brissett's side of the field to get over and make a play on the football. That's exactly what happened, right? He's got to put it 18 yards down the line of scrimmage instead of closer to 22. If you know, you know. But in this play right here, Brissett has to be able to recognize where the safety is in relation to his receiver and not go for the necessary super deep ball, but just for the solid pickup. What about this play? Early in the game as well. Kareem Hunt, he motions him out wide. He gets a great matchup against Shaq Thompson. I love that matchup. It is a great play design by Stefanski to get a good matchup and get an unfair one in favor of the Browns. Now, there is a flag on this play that goes against the Panthers, so the Browns end up picking up a first down thanks to a defensive holding. But I would rather have 30 yards than 5 yards. Once again, Brissett missed this throw, overthrew him. He knows this. I'm not presenting new information. What I'm saying is the Browns were able to squeak out a win without hitting on some of these home runs. That's going to work for sometimes, for some games. That is not a viable thing to have over the course of 11 games for Jacoby Brissett, which is why I say just hit one of those, right? I'm not asking for him to be, if he hits all three, he's probably not Jacoby Brissett. He's probably a starting quarterback. Those are not, they're easy throws, but to make 4 to 5 easy throws down the field, it's not super easy. So let me ask this question here. And I didn't really know the best way I wanted to phrase it, but I think you get the gist of it. What's Jacoby Brissett's leash, right? Like, how long is it, right? Is he on a short leash, meaning there's no retractable portion to it, it's 6 feet long, and that's it? Or does he have a longer leash, right? A retractable one, where you kind of trust your dog to, like, hey, don't eat that other dog 12 feet down the sidewalk here. Keep it on the shorter side. Let me know, what do you think Jacoby Brissett's leash is? And hey, while you're making those guesses down in the comment section or giving your predictions and takes, I want to tell you guys quickly about our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head on over to chatsports.com/bet. When you put in promo code Browns125, BetUS is going to hook you up with a 125% deposit bonus. Now, if an additional 125 is not sweet enough to, put your money where your mouth is, what about getting a free jersey? No hoops to jump through. No gimmicks. Really simple. Here at Chat Sports, everyone that goes to chatsports.com/bet and puts in promo code Browns125 gets to pick between a Deshaun Watson jersey or a Myles Garrett jersey. You get to pick the color. You get to pick the size. Just email jersey@chatsports.com and we will take care of the rest. Here are the simple steps. Take a screenshot of this if you want. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Browns125. When you put $100 in, they'll tack on an additional 125. Make your first bet. Browns -6.5, or if you want to go a different route, doesn't matter. Doesn't even have to be on the Browns. just email us jersey@chatsports, which, by the way, that email's in the comments and description of today's show, with a screenshot of your first bet. Next thing you know, you've got a brand new Cleveland Browns jersey coming your way on us here at Chat Sports. Talk to us. We'll get you guys hooked up. Next key to the game, revenge on Flacco. I know this is kind of me just being a bit selfish because it's not the Baltimore Ravens and it's a completely different team. But there is something to Joe Flacco having success against the Browns. I don't need to bring up a whole bunch of bad memories for everyone to know that Flacco has had Cleveland's number. In his career against the Browns, he is 17-3. He averages 231 yards per game, and he threw 27 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Now, this will be Joe Flacco's first time returning to Cleveland as a starter. He played against the Browns when he was on the Broncos, but he was hurt, so we won't even count it, really. Now, Joe Flacco, he ain't the same Joe Flacco. Ravens fans are in denial. They are thinking he is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He ain't. But when he was with the Baltimore Ravens, you can see his stats on the left. 61% completion percentage. He threw for 234 yards and 212 touchdowns, 95 interceptions, and he had a 96-67 record altogether. As for what Joe Flacco has done since being ousted by Baltimore for Lamar Jackson, he's thrown fewer yards per game. His touchdown interceptions, of course, are lower, but the actual ratio itself is much worse. And as a starter, he's 2-12, guys. He's not coming in. He's bad. I don't know how much more of how much more color I have to provide to this picture. We know all of this, right? This is not brand new information to everyone. But that doesn't change the fact that Joe Flacco had a lot of success against the Browns. And I would love to see that success come crashing down. And I would love to see the Browns go 2-0 against a QB that tormented them for so many years. And what better way to take down Joe Flacco with his new team than by going to Myles Garrett, who, by the way, is just 2 sacks away from becoming the Cleveland Browns' all-time sack leader. So a little revenge on Joe Flacco is really a key to the game to actually winning. Not necessarily, but I'll provide a bonus key to make up for that, my kind of half-ass key right there. At some point, just some espionage, some sabotage, send someone to the Jets sideline and kidnap Denzel Mims. If the wide receivers are not performing well, when Jacoby Brissett or Nick Chubb runs out of bounds on their sideline, just run up to Denzel and go like, you look a lot better in brown and orange. And maybe he'll hang around. How about this? Give him a wrong plane. Give him the wrong schedule. Put him in a different locker room. He misses the team bus, and he hangs out in Cleveland. I think we could all use a little extra help at wide receiver. Now, if you hate the Ravens while we talk about Joe Flacco, I don't need much of a natural transition to this right here. We usually do F Pitt, but the Ravens work as well. FBAL, F Baltimore, F the Ravens down in the comments section. Let me hear it loud and proud, Browns fans. Okie dokie. Let's get some shout-outs. That's what we love to do here. If you hate the Ravens, F Baltimore down there. Greg saying it. Fletcher, what's up, dude? Fletcher does not like the Ravens either. Neither does Ray. Neither does David. Mike, the Ohio State and Clemson battle is still going on in the comment section right now. Mike is stirring the pot a little bit. F Baltimore, F Pitt, and F Clemson. Jerichoholic, F the Ravens. JD, F Baltimore. Ryan says F the Ravens. Yeah, all this works right here. The Ratbirds, the Crows, whatever it may be. All right. We are also going to have a mailbag to wrap up today's show. And we picked up a super chat, I think, maybe during that segment. Did we or did we not? Maybe I just didn't remember what total we were at before. Okay. So we're at $24 right now. If we get to $30, Seeps and I take some shots, right? Well, if it's a $20 super chat, we'll get to the shots. Yeah. $20 super chat. But if we get to 30, bit of a sale right now. So a $6 super chat. Actually, we'll make it even a $5 because I don't think you can really easily do $5 on YouTube super chat. Here's our super chat menu today. Any kind of super chat gets you a shout out. $5 gets you a beers cheers. $10. We've already drank from it once, and I love it. The dog bowl, baby. $10 super chat. We drink out of this bad boy. $20. It is show shots. Me, Seeps, and we got another man behind the screens. He's a little bit newer here at Chat Sports. I'm sure he'd love to get underneath the boss's noses and come in here and take some shots. Let's give the new guy, Tex, we like to call him. I don't even know if he likes the nickname. Honestly, we kind of put it on him, and I think he's just been too timid to like say he doesn't like it. So it's stuck though. So that's what he's got to work with right now. Jerichoholic, can't wait. Oh, so Jerichoholic is going to the game. If you're going to the game, let me know down in the comments section below. There's just nothing better. Like, going to football games, going to NFL games is super fun. That doesn't need to be said here. There is something to taking in the game a little bit better by watching on TV with the broadcast. But given the choice, you go to the game. You know what I mean?
I feel like when I'm at the game, you have like a responsibility to be a fan.
Right.
Like you have to be rowdy, but like when you're just kind of watching at your house, you can kind of be like, oh, okay, let's see how the left tackle played on that play. Like I'll like zero in on him. I completely agree.
I agree. No doubt about it. Okay. Oh, so Tex chimed in with what his nickname preference is. We got a super chat. He says, I like Tex or Big Tex more than Foamy Matt. So Foamy Matt was his first nickname because he couldn't pour a beer well, and it was just all foam. So we call him Big Tex. I think he's sub 5'6". So Big Tex is really fitty. But Herman, what's up, dude? We're going to get some shots here before we jump into the mailbag. If Big Tex is listening right now, which he should be, could you please get us 2, or if you want 3 shot glasses? Let's go. Da-da-da, da-da-da. All right, now we're at 35 bucks here. So if we get to 50, another dog bowl, right? That's how we're going to operate here. You guys can work as a group effort here. But here's we have Herman's super chat, and then we got JD's here. JD, we'll start with you, I guess, though. JD. Still think Dobbs over Brissett, but I stand with my dogs. Go Browns. Hey, as long as you end a super chat with Go Browns, everything that came before it can become irrelevant no matter how bad the take is. I'm rolling with Brissett, but Go Browns, baby.
Where is the
Cheers.
Dobbs fans? Like, where did they come from? Like, are people really that?
No, that's a good question.
Like, where did this kind of momentum?
I would say Dobbs, in all honesty, was a top 5 NFL preseason player.
Okay.
He was making plays with his legs. He was great with his arm. He was awesome in the preseason. Give him credit. Mm-hmm. He was so good in the preseason, he earned the backup job in terms of sometimes you see teams throw a third-string quarterback on there, and they're like, well, we just need someone to run the drills. Mm-hmm. When you actually get to the regular season, you're not, in our actual opinion, a viable option. We would trade for someone before an injury happened and we had to put you out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Dobbs, he earned a spot where if Brissett were to go down, Dobbs could go in.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be like Ben DiNucci or what's his face? Duck Hodge, Delvin Hodge.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's
that.
like, whoa. That's what I'm talking about.
Go.
Okay, we need the most important ingredient, though, the shots. Okay. And could you get me another Coors Latte, please? Yeah. Thank you.
Fireball? Thank you.
Yeah, Fireball. They keep bringing these ginormous. Look at this thing. The granddaddy of shots right there. No free sponsors, but damn.
Trace last time filled us up all the way with the.
No, Trace came in with like a solo cup and filled it up with a shot. It was insane.
That was tough.
Okay, that one hurt a lot there. All right, Ray will be watching the game with the Arizona Desert Dogs Browns backers this weekend. Well,
Arizona?
So Browns backers are like groups of Browns fans throughout the country.
Okay.
So like that must be what that like platoon is called. You know what I mean? Oh, he's agile too. Damn.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you, buddy. You don't want to take one?
I took my medicine earlier. I can't drink.
Oh, okay. That works too. Okay. Do we ever get Herman's on screen? I don't want to forget the $6 super chat we got from Herman.
Yeah, I'll throw it up there.
Okay, I just want to make sure Herman gets their love. All right, we'll also have a mailbag, and I don't know, once we're done with these shots here, get hashtag Browns in there right now or super chat. We already had some super chats that are kind of questions, so we can include those too. You guys aren't like removed from being included in a mailbag because we showed it earlier. But let's get these shots going right now. Producer Seeps and I, you get to see. Oh, I forgot. You can only see him. Okay. I'm not filling this to the top, though. There we go. This is like an actual shot because this is like a 3-shot glass, I think. Okay. Seeps, you ready to cheers? What are we cheersing to? Because I think at Chat Sports have the most unique cheers. I've got one idea.
I got one too.
Okay.
You go first.
Cheers to Joe Flacco wearing number 19, which is the biggest eyesore.
Is he actually?
He's number 19.
Okay, that's a great cheers. I had no
that is
idea.
the weirdest thing.
That is weird.
He does not want to be there.
Yeah.
Number 19 was, they called him, do you want to come back? How much? That many zeros? Fine. No, I don't give a shit what number. I don't even want to be there. So, surprise me. Just don't make it anything in the 50s.
Definitely.
That's like the only thing right there. Okie dokie. So, cheers to Joe Flacco wearing number 19.
Shout out to Herman, too.
Cannonball coming. Cannonball.
Oh, Fireball tastes like Christmas.
Fireball tastes like devil's, ass crack Christmas.
Yeah, no.
Okie dokie. Here we go. Greasy. I smell some Jets turnovers on Sunday.
I smell that too. We also have something fun after the mailbag.
Oh, we do. So make sure you stay tuned. Seeps and I,
tuned.
you know we like to chalk it up, just talk NFL shop with you guys here. All right.
Fun.
I think we are ready to get this mailbag show on the road here. So we are $15 away from another drink out of the dog bowl. If you want to guarantee a spot on the mailbag, use Super Chat or use hashtag Browns, and you'll just be at the mercy of Seatman picking what questions and which avatars he likes the best, because it's kind of really all the science that goes into it. It's not a well-oiled machine sometimes back there in the dungeon of the producer studio. Okie dokie. Are we ready to blast off? All right, let's jump into a Cleveland Browns mailbag. Welcome into a mailbag here on the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson answering the questions you guys ask during our live show, which airs every single Thursday at 4 Eastern. So if you want to ask a question and be on a future mailbag, join us then, Thursdays, 4 Eastern. This first question comes in from Joshua Miller. Lamar Jackson might be on. No, Josh, no. You asked. We're going to skip. You're an OG of the channel. I think you're just trying to get me right now. But no, I'm not going to even finish reading that. I will not bother anyone else with this question. Funny guy, Josh. All right, Scorpion, what do you got for me? Are you disappointed that Bell never did anything the first game? Anything's a strong word. Did he get a reception? No. Was he used in wide receiver screens for run blocking? Yes. I think that speaks to a little bit of confidence that Stefanski and the coaching staff have in him of, hey, if you're going to be on the field and you're not a stud receiver at start, which is true for 95% of receivers, you got to do the other stuff well. You got to run block. This Browns team wants to run the football. You cannot be a liability out there and have no effort on plays where you're not getting the football. Am I disappointed we didn't see more from him? Sure, because I believe in 18 and I want to see him flourish and, be the next Jarvis Landry slot receiver for this team. So in that regard, a little bit, but I'm not concerned. If I would answer your question, kind of modify it a little bit. Let's see what David wants to ask. Do fans know the reason we don't see Brownie the Elf is because Fart Modell didn't like him? I think every single Cleveland Browns fan the last week, their knowledge of the Brownie the Elf, the big brain emoji, it got so much bigger, right? You knew about the guy, but if anyone ever asked you what the history is, you kind of had to go, I don't know. He's just kind of been around for a while. He was actually, I believe, the first logo going back to 1946. Maybe he came a little later. See, even myself, I'm like trying to catch myself up on the. But yes, what David's pointing out, Art Modell, the former owner, is like, we're ditching this bad boy. That's why he left. So I don't mind him coming back now. All right, the Brown Tiger, who had a super chat. Do you think they'll use a combo of Dobbs and Brissett this game to keep the Jets' defense guessing? I go back to my old saying. If you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. I do not want to see this 2 QB system. If You want to put Dobbs on the field, make it one trick play where he lines up in the wide receiver position. And maybe it's kind of like the Cowboys game, right? Except instead of OBJ throwing it this time, it's Dobbs, but they'll all see that coming anyway. This question coming in from Ecuador. Who surprised you in week 1? Ooh, good question. I'm trying to think of people that surprised in terms of I didn't have huge expectations for. What about Donovan Peoples-Jones? Because we never saw much of him in the preseason, and there was some concern, at least on my end, of what's going to happen if the Panthers block out Amari Cooper from this game and make the Browns' passing game one-dimensional, where it's DPJ, Schwartz, or Bell. Peoples-Jones, he necessarily didn't have the great yak yards after catch, but he also didn't get many passes that allowed that. Instead, he got some pretty difficult passes near the sticks, and he made some tough grabs look very easy. That's kind of a new game of Peoples-Jones we haven't seen, right? As opposed to being the speedster who can stretch the field from you. I loved what I saw out of him. I was a big fan of Peoples-Jones in week 1. I think this is just the beginning of what we're going to see out of him as a wide receiver 2 this year. Long-time viewer here at the Browns Report. Gregory, what's up, my guy? Do you think Emerson takes Greedy's spot full-time? This is a good question. Something we've talked about on the show. Now, Greedy Williams is on short-term IR. He's on IR. He'll be back most likely after his 4 weeks are up. 1 week in, 3 more games to go. If Martin Emerson plays well over those next 3 weeks, I don't see why the coaching staff would revert back to Greedy Williams, especially for this reason. Is Greedy Williams a part of this team's long-term plan in the secondary? Probably not, right? Greedy Williams balls out. Let's go down that route for a second. What does that do for the Browns? Makes him more attractive in free agency. Someone else gives him more money, the Browns get a better comp pick. Greedy Williams doesn't have a good season this year. Why would they bring him back then, right? From the Browns' perspective, it's kind of a win-win almost any single way you look at it, especially when you take into account that they drafted Martin Emerson because they didn't have the money to give Greedy Williams in free agency if another team wants to dangle a multi-year contract in front of him. So I wouldn't be opposed to Emerson just kind of taking the job sort of full-time as long as he's not a train wreck. If he is bad over the next 3 weeks, then no, you put the better guy on the field. But if the two are kind of neck and neck, why not give Emerson those rookie reps since Greedy's not going to be around, in my opinion, after this season. But I want you all to predict the score for me while we talk about week 2 and even beyond that. Who do you got by how much? Browns, Jets, this Sunday from First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Let me know what your score predictions are. Question coming in from JD Shirk. JD, why do you believe Cooper and Brissett struggled to connect in the first week? Let's go through. In fact, we can even pull up a picture. Let's go through a couple of Amari Cooper and Jacoby Brissett's passing catches, right? First off, there was one earlier in the game where Jacoby Brissett, or a little later, but regardless, Jacoby Brissett threw it to Cooper, who cooked his defender, was wide open in the end zone, and there was pass interference. Had that been caught for a touchdown, there's no PI. We don't have this question. But what about this play here? This is a good example of the timing needs to get better, and that comes with time. Amari Cooper is one of the best route runners in the NFL. We like to use that term loosely, I think, as fans. Of he's a really good route runner. What does that mean exactly? It means right off the get-go, his defender has no idea where he's going. And Cooper beat his guy off the jump, and Brissett has him open. Now, there is a one-high safety who is leaning towards Cooper's way. And unfortunately, Brissett on this pass put too much air underneath it, and it allowed the safety to get over and make a play on the ball. This is the timing aspect of where Brissett and Cooper have to be on the same page of, hey, if I beat my man and there's just one safety and he's leaning to my half of the field, you cannot put it 25 yards down the field. The safety will get over and make a play on the football. You have to put it a little closer to the sticks. It won't be a huge gain, but it's better than an incompletion. I think this comes with time. What's up, Ray? Let's get to your question, dude. Do you think that Stefanski will continue to use tight ends to block for the run game? Yes, I think so. David Njoku coming out back in 2017 struggled in the pass blocking department for tight ends. He has improved there. Harrison Bryant can pass block. This is a staple of the Cleveland Browns offense of we want to run the football and want to outnumber you. Good way to do that is to use tight ends. Now, if you want to be on our next mailbag, you got to be subscribed. These exclusive mailbags, not all that exclusive, because the channel's free. You just click that subscribe button. There's no pay this amount to be on the show or anything like that. No, it's a free YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We got a question coming in from Noah Steffler. Who else wants a Cade York jersey now? If I could add one digit to my jersey, I'd be all about it. I got my Amari Cooper jersey before the Cade York, the Yorker, and a number 3 jersey looks pretty dope. I look forward to seeing a ton of pictures from First Energy Stadium and the Mooney Lot of Cade York jersey sighting because someone's going to have it without a doubt here. Now, we have some great jersey deals, by the way, which we can talk about in just a minute. But first, Josh asking, who was the most disappointing Brown this past Sunday? We'll go on the darker side. Most disappointing player for the Browns on Sunday, I will go with, I don't think Denzel Ward altogether had a superb game. That's a bit nitpicky. On offense, I thought the offensive line, Jedrick Wills, I'm not as big as a hater as some other people are. He definitely has room to improve. I don't think anyone's going to argue against that. Most disappointing game, I'll cop out and I'll go Jacoby Brissett, right? He just missed one too many throws. You know, he had a lot of good and easy throws to make, and he missed them. And that's kind of the nature of Jacoby Brissett of he'll either harness it and tuck in and run, or he won't hit all the deep balls. I would have liked to have seen him hit one of those handful of opportunities. Now, if you want to hit on your picks, make them over at BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Browns125 to get that 125% deposit bonus. And this is what I was talking about. Get a free Browns jersey. I kid you not. On us here at Chat Sports, we have Deshaun Watson jerseys. We have Myles Garrett jerseys. They are bursting out of our jersey closet here at Chat Sports. And all you have to do is get started with BetUS and email jersey@chatsports.com. I wouldn't lie to you guys. It's really that simple and easy. If you go to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Browns125, sign up, put 100 bones in, get that deposit bonus, splurge on Browns -6.5 against the Jets. Once you make your first bet, just send a screenshot to jersey@chatsports.com. And next thing you know, we just need to know what jersey, what size, and what color you want. And you are repping a brand new, like I am wearing right now, Cleveland Browns jersey. Let's go to this question from Mike Benchoff. Need to get Jerome Ford some time. This week's game might be the time. We saw Jerome Ford pick up a presence in special teams. Because speaking of like cardiac kids moment at the end of the game, anytime Dimitri Felton fields a punt, it's a bit of like a heart attack waiting to happen. So might we see Jerome Ford, if there's one more slip up from 25, he gets some opportunities on special teams. And it's a little bit like any other profession, where if you do the little things and the dirty work right, you'll get opportunities to flash in the big moments in the backfield. Ford does well in special teams. You might get some touches from Brissett in the backfield. Last question of today's show. What's up, Ryan? Who should I start in my fantasy, Cooper or DPJ? Go with Cooper. I think DPJ is a little bit more of a, I wouldn't say safer pick, but he got more receptions. So, like, you just look at the stats, you feel that way. But Cooper, if Brissett hits him on that one deep ball on the right sideline, or if there's no pass interference in the end zone and he's not absolutely hugged by the defender, he catches a wide open touchdown pass. this stuff with time is going to pay out in the long run, I would go with Amari Cooper. He's just got a higher ceiling, in my opinion. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. That's my quick selfish plug right there. Josh, if you got more fantasy football questions, toss them my way. I lost my first week, but it was no one. First off, rule number one: no one cares about your fantasy team. But it was the just classic. I scored the second most points, and I played the guy who scored the first most points. That sucks. Josh, should I start Mike Williams tonight with Keenan Allen out and KC's number one corner? Yeah, Trent McDuffie is out. I like it. I don't know what the rest of your roster looks like.
Sounds good on paper right there.
I think right there you're off to a good start. Justin Herbert is going to throw the football a bunch. I feel like this game's going to go to a shootout, and when it gets there, that's where Mike Williams. I feel like he's good for at least one touchdown. Get one touchdown. Yeah. Why not do it?
Mike Williams, one of those guys, more underrated receivers in the league. He's not too flashy.
Yeah.
Clemson guy, Brown Tiger, too. Stud at Clemson.
Yeah, good connection right there. Is he a bust for a first-round pick? He was kind of high. What was he, top 10?
Was he a top 10 pick?
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, but
someone fact-check me. Was Mike Mike Williams, I thought he was 10 overall.
He was, I mean, he had his moments last year. It was like the first year I feel like he really came onto the scene.
Fletcher, you follow me on Twitter already. It's too kind. Let's go. Be like Fletcher.
He was number 7 overall.
7 overall, okay.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For being 7, I think, how about this? If they didn't get Justin Herbert right, he'd be gone.
Agree. Great point.
And then he might be viewed as a bust. So take that with what you will. Okie dokie. So we have end of the show, which means we have to get out of the studio. But you know the game we like to play here between Patrick and I. As long as Super Chats roll in and keep the show flowing, we're not going anywhere. We get a Super Chat. It just extends our time, right, here in Studio B. We also renamed all of our studios. It's been a disaster.
Listen, I would love to sit here for the next hour, chop it
way
up,
more fun.
Talk Browns with you guys. If you guys keep the Super Chats coming.
Help Patrick out, because when he does
$5 here.
When he gets out of here, he has to sit at a computer and just, like, sit on this editing software for 2 hours, and it sucks.
Yeah.
$5 beers, cheers. Cheers to all of you guys who have already super chatted. $10, drink from the dog bowl. $20, shot o'clock. Got some Fireball. So here's what we're going to do. Last week, Patrick and I, to wrap up the show, gave our division sleeper winners and sleeper busts picks. Now that we got football underway, it doesn't seem really fair to do that. So instead, we're going to give you guys a team that won in week 1, is going to lose in week 2, and the opposite. A loser from week 1 that's going to win in week 2. Did I get that right? I think so. So if we get the background noise, I wonder if they can hear the other watch parties right now. We have watch parties. We have 2 other live shows, our Dolphins and our 49ers live show, or the Eagles one. I don't know. We have a lot of them in Chat Sports. And the Dolphins host, Will Scott, is just a ball of energy. If you send any kind of super chat, I mean, it is just like Nestle Quick right to the dome. It is ridiculous what he does with it. Okie dokie. So let's get into. We'll start with.
You want me to go?
You go first. We'll go back.
Right.
Give me your week 1 winner.
That's gonna lose.
That's gonna lose in week 2.
I would love to start there, actually.
Okay, I know it's going
there. So, my week 1 winner that is gonna lose in week 2 is the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Vikings?
No, the Eagles are gonna lose week 2 to the Minnesota Vikings on a Monday night. This is just, honestly, NFL fans, this is going to be a hell of a game, a great Monday night football game, and it's after the Bills-Titans game. I really think the Vikings can get it done here. I don't really think the Eagles can hold them, like in terms of the Eagles secondary trying to go up against the Vikings receivers. I think they actually might make a mistake and try to go man with Darius Slay and James Bradbury trying to man up Jefferson and Thielen. You can't do that. And I think the Vikings, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. On my Vikings preview, I predicted 34-30. Vikings really high scoring, but I actually love the over in this too. I don't know, PD, this game, where are you going?
I do like Minnesota, actually.
Okay.
I will boost your ego. I like the Vikings, and I kind of like the over.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing is overreaction Monday, right, of week 1. The Eagles gave up 35 points to Jared Goff and the Lions. Gannon, the DC, I could see him rebounding in week 2, Monday night. Maybe it's so weird that this will not be the Steve Levy game. I don't think. There's 2 Monday night games.
Oh no,
this Monday.
It is we get
you get Joe,
Buck and Aikman.
you get Buck and Aikman. There's 2 Monday night games this Monday. My guy Steve Levy's coming out.
He's on the Bills Titans. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Okay. I'll take Vikings. I like the over.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my game of a week 1 winner that's gonna lose in week 2. That's the Commanders. We are the capital of Jacksonville Jaguars fans between Sept and I in 2022. I think they're gonna be good, but yeah, I think the Commanders eked out one at home against Jacksonville. If you watch enough Hard Knocks, you just have to fall in love with the team. And the Lions, they had a tough home loss against Philly in week 1. I bet they bounce back nicely and win this one.
Is this game in Detroit?
This is in Detroit.
Okay.
So I'm not double dipping here either. I'm just taking Washington. We got a super chat. Let's go.
We keep going.
And it's actually perfect timing too. Oh, this segues great
timing.
into my next one. So we'll snake draft this one.
Yes.
I'll go again, but let's show the super chat. We get a super chat. We get to stay longer in the studio. The Brown Tiger.
Shout out to you, man.
Shout out to you. I crack open a new beer for you, buddy.
And now we're $3 away.
F-Pitt, they lose this week. F-Pitt in the comments section.
We're now $3 away from Petey and I taking another shot, too.
Yeah.
3 whole dollars.
$3 away from another shot, and that makes us like $12 away from a dog bowl. So a lot of good incentives out there. It's a good menu right now. It's a senior discount. But with the Brown Tiger suggestion, this was actually my pick anyway. I'm taking the Patriots as a team that lost in week 1 to win in week 2 against the Steelers. It's just too tough to envision Belichick starting off 0-2. Mm-hmm. I cannot compute that.
Especially with the Steelers offense, that's nothing to brag about.
It's not like the Steelers are unbeatable. So to me, this is just a chess game. Belichick, Tomlin. I'll take Belichick.
If this game goes over, I will be shocked. And the over/under is 40.5.
Yeah.
But still, I would hammer the under on this. I mean, the Steelers defense, obviously T.J. Watt's not there anymore, but they're still pretty damn good.
Yeah, I agree. So I like the Patriots to bounce back in week 2, and it's one of those, it's a good idea not to bet against the Patriots. They might not be great this season, but they're not going to sink right out of the gate. So they are the best at, correcting those mistakes. We're on to Cincinnati, and they will bounce back against a Steelers team that is very beatable.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't have, if it wasn't for a long snapper getting hurt in Cincinnati, they would be 0-1 right now.
Yep.
So
that's a good point.
With that, I think that transitions nicely into your pick.
Yeah. So my pick, a team that's going to bounce back. Petey just said it. Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
I think they could win by 20-30 this week.
I'm taking Bengals minus 7.5 all day.
There's something about, when like for the NBA, when players go to Madison Square Garden, I feel like they play their best game.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like when guys come to Dallas, I could see this being Burrow and Jamar. It's they have Jamar's got 200 yards, 3 touchdowns at the end of the game.
Right.
That's where I think this game could go. Cowboys and no Dak. I mean, unless the Bengals just really try to run the crap out of the football, but I think this could be a fireworks show.
I agree. I like the Bengals, and honestly, the Bengals might get the over themselves. They could put up 45.
Yeah, the Bengals I think the Bengals will bounce back. Burrow's not throwing 4 interceptions again.
No, Burrow, he missed all preseason, and it showed.
Yes.
You saw the teams that didn't sit anyone, that sat everyone in the preseason, had some growing pains in week 1.
Except for the Vikings. New offense, new coach, everybody came in.
Kirk Cousins never played a preseason game?
We had 24 guys, our starters, didn't play a single snap.
Wow, okay.
That was the most impressive part of the victory.
Vikings to the Super Bowl.
I've been calling it.
Yeah.
I've been calling it.
Someone said it. It wasn't me. Okay, we're going to turn the shot clock on right now, which means if we don't get another super chat in the next 60 or so seconds, we have to relinquish Studio B to, I think, Seahawks today.
Yeah.
And Seahawk fans, their heads are way too big. If you're a Seahawk fan, your goal right now is to lose every single game.
Yeah.
You won your Super Bowl. You beat
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
Go get Bryce Young.
Go get C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, go get one of those two.
Go get one of those two guys right now. So, clock's on right now. If we don't get a super chat in the next 45 or so seconds, we got to wrap up and head on out of here. But it's been a blast, as always, hanging out with you guys. But I want to keep it going. See, one super chat. Someone send in 2 buckaroos, and we'll talk a little bit more about football. We'll talk about Thursday Night Football, too.
Yeah.
Because
Also, my cheers was going to be shout out to probably the 2 best Thursday night games that we could start the year with. I don't really remember. Like Bills-Rams and the Chargers-Chiefs.
Yeah.
Probably the 2 best back-to-back Thursday night games I think we've had in a while.
I agree.
Like, really, I'm excited for
Those are some good ones because usually Thursday night sends out some clunkers.
normally it's
after.
Jags-Titans.
Jags-Titans is a classic.
The color rush, Jags-Titans Thursday night football game might be the worst product of football
Yeah.
that you could possibly have. It's just a Derrick Henry show.
All right, we'll give it like 5 more seconds in case someone wants to beat the buzzer. But without that, I will remind you guys, Thursday Night Football tonight is on Amazon Prime.
True.
It is not on your TV. Prepare accordingly. A lot of people are going to be really pissed off
That's true.
when they sit down at like 8:10 and like trying to find the game and it's not there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think with that we're gonna have to wrap it up. Doug, oh,
Brett.
let's go, Brett.
Let's go.
Brett Hardishow with the big super.
Let's go.
That's a big one.
super.
That's worthy
We
of
got a
2
lot
dog
to-
bowls
We got a lot to get.
and the
Oh,
brown tiger.
We got a lot to get. We got a lot to drink right now. And a lot
We
to
are
talk
gonna
about.
get shit faced at work. Let's do
Yes.
this.
Shout out to you, Brett.
Okay, the dog bowl's filling up here. Ryan, Brown Tiger, Brett, stay at work, Mr. Peterson. I would love nothing more than to hang out with you guys. Brett, appreciate the donation. You just seem like an MVP, a clutch guy, a masterful coach who knows the X's and O's and gets his team to victory formation. So let me drink this while Seeps gets ready his shot for himself. That'll be like a $10 like combination right there. I think works out pretty well. I love my job. Woo! And we got the Brown Tiger super chat. We'll toss that on screen. Okay. Here we go. Oh. F Pitt, we win week 3 and we bring them show who best. We show them who's best. I think that's what we're trying to get across here. Oh, I know what we'll do to reset the shot clock too.
Okay.
We got a good one here.
All right.
First,
Yeah. Cheers.
cheers
Shout out
to
to you
Brett.
guys. Yeah, Brett.
Who does Clemson play this week?
I'll look that up.
Look it up for me, because they're probably going to lose. They're pretty bad this year. I'm being so mean to like the super chatter. That is bad on my as a YouTube host right now. But DJ Ugawagi,
They have Louisiana Tech.
you know, as far as like FCS schools go, no, not FCS. As far as like Group of 5 schools go, it's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. So why are you so down on Clemson?
No, it's just that I didn't understand why they were ranked so high after a disappointing season last year, and they didn't improve in my eyes. And their QB sucks.
Oh yeah. What's this? DJ? Or-
Yeah, the Brown Tiger. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't hate Clemson. That's not what I'm doing here right now. It's just
5th in the country.
that makes no sense to me.
5th in the country.
They are not the 5th best team in the country.
Yeah.
College football is the best at getting people riled up
Well,
here.
cheers to you.
Yep.
Shout out to Brett, Brown Tiger.
Cheers to you guys. Cannonball. Cannonball coming. Woo.
All right.
That went straight up to the dome.
So what's our shot clock game?
Our new shot clock game.
And if you guys aren't familiar, me and Petey, we chop it up. We talk about whatever topic Petey's going to come up with.
Yeah.
And if when we finish
That
the
topic.
we have to end the stream unless another super chat comes in.
So, with that, give me your top 3 Buffalo Wild Wings sauces. Because we're planning on going to B-Dubs. Here's what I was talking about. I have zero faith in sports bars being prepared for this game to be on Amazon Prime tonight. But if there is one place that I think will have their
B-dubs.
head on their shoulders, it'll be B-dubs.
Yeah.
Because far too many sports bars, you get there and you're like, oh, we got another super chat. Let's go. Greasy flight from north of the border. Far too many sports bars you get there. And you're like, can you put the game on? I'm like, what channel? And you're like, ESPN2. Mm-hmm. Who's playing? And they put the wrong. You're like, no. Just give me the remote. It'd be a lot easier. There's one place that's going to be able to know and plan ahead. I think it's going to be B-dubs. Greasy flight. What's up, my guy? We got more supers. Let's go. Let's go. Oh. Now we got some bad blood in the chat here. We got Josh's super chat. Let's see what Josh had to say.
Kentucky.
Kentucky win one of the biggest in school history. Go Cats.
Is he talking about the Florida victory?
He's talking about the Florida victory. So, Josh, I don't know if you're a Kentucky guy. I'm a huge Vols fan, class of 2020, and
so you're not a Kentucky guy.
I hate Kentucky basketball. I don't like Kentucky football. I think there is a difference between those two things, though. Mm-hmm. If Kentucky football beats Florida, I will pull for Kentucky. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to basketball, I hate Rupp Arena, and I hate the Wildcats here. All right, the Brown Tiger, he's sending shots back to you, Seeps.
He is.
F the Vikings.
You know what? You guys do have my guy Stefanski. I'm a huge fan of Stefanski, so.
Mr. Girthy, back to the coal mines. He's got to be talking about Kentucky right there.
Yeah.
Send him back to the coal mines. Josh, I was born at University of Kentucky. Bleed the blue.
I just had a terrible joke in my head.
What was your joke?
It's like, were you conceived at Kentucky?
Okay. As we prepare for our personal, dilemmas tonight of figuring out
sauces
where to watch Thursday Night Football.
Oh, yes.
I will have a panic attack if I show up to B-Dubs and they don't have it on and they go, what channel? And I go, figure it out. You had to be on the ball here. Someone at B-Dubs has to send a mass email out 3 days beforehand saying Thursday Night Football is on Amazon Prime. Now, I did hear that DirecTV is Amazon is allowing DirecTV in restaurant bundles to show the game over there.
Okay.
So I think we'll be okay, but I'm still pretty scared and nervous.
Will Hensley saying we have too much faith in B-Dubs.
Might have a chance. Will was a super chat MVP during our live show.
Really?
He was sending a lot of tequila my way. I saved the tequila just for Sundays.
Okay, yeah.
I cannot throw up during a workday on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And I would. I really would. Okay.
So
top three B-Dub sauces, and then we're going to get out of here unless we get another super chat.
This is a tough one. I'll go first.
Okay, yeah, you go first. You want to draft?
Yeah, let's draft.
Okay, you go first. You get the first pick, and then I'll go.
Number one overall pick, let's go regular medium hot sauce.
Oh, that's
super
a horrible 1-1.
Super
horrible 1-1.
I'm a hot sauce guy.
I can't do it.
I'll go regular medium sauce.
I'll go, everyone likes it, honey barbecue.
That's a great one.
It's not the spiciest, but if honey barbecue's on the table, no one dislikes honey barbecue. I have to go that. That was the 1-1. You gave me a blessing at the second pick of the draft.
So I'll go.
You go now.
I'll go garlic parm. I'm a huge garlic parm guy. I know people are hit and miss with garlic parm, but those would probably be the main two I get. Just like medium and then garlic parm.
Garlic parm. Got some comedians in the chat. Let's go. You went garlic parm. I'm going to go with... We got another super chat. Let's go,
come
Greasy.
Up with another conversation.
Yeah. Garlic parm should have been number one. Okay, you and garlic parm, we've gone so far away from Cleveland Browns talk right now. But I'll take it too. I'll go mild.
Okay.
I got honey barbecue and mild. I am hitting everyone I wanted. Greasy Flight, what's up? Cheers to you, buddy.
I just saw it. Asian Zing.
Ah.
I saw Brett. I was debating between Asian Zing and I don't know, but yeah, I'll go Asian Zing.
Okay.
That's a great one.
I'm going to go with this is a reach, but I want it to be mine. I haven't even had it yet. I'll go sauce.
Okay.
Ahmad Sauce Gardner's.
Tell him what it is.
You fill him in. You're the one that cracked the case on this one.
So Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
4th overall pick for the New York Jets. He has his own sauce at B-Dubs. Tom Downey, our coworker, he said it was pretty damn good. So I'm going to probably try it tonight. But, yeah, there's a great connection into this week's game. Me and Petey will go get the inside information tonight on the Jets. See what Sauce Gardner sauce is looking like behind enemy lines.
Yep, exactly. Zach, I was late today. You're fine. You're coming probably the best time of the show. We're debating wing sauce. We're talking B-dubs here.
Okay. Let's go. So reset it.
Reset it. I've got a new quick game.
Okay.
And then we'll probably have to get kicked out of here no matter what.
Yeah.
But if we get on Super Chat, the show goes on.
Yes.
Ready? Draft again. Back and forth. Top 3 places, restaurants, must be national chains to watch football.
Okay.
To watch a game.
I'm like,
Sonia, let's get them drunk.
sending Super Chat.
You said, yeah. Ball's in your court.
Hey, we're $15 away from another shot. So, just putting that out there. Okay. Number 1, Hooters.
There, you just stole Josh's. You son of a bitch.
I was thinking
That's fine. You left the 1-1 for me.
Hooters.
Okay.
Hooters number 1.
I think I got to go B-dubs.
Yeah, B-dubs.
I thought you were going to take B-dubs and I was going to panic.
I was going to say B-dubs, and I saw Josh with
Yeah. Do you go for the wings or the waitress?
Both.
Yeah. Good answer.
Combination.
We're such pervs.
Let's see. Brown
Okay.
Tiger again.
Let's go, Brown Tiger.
Second spot. Like national chain. I'm having like a
mental block?
Yes. I'm not trying. I can't.
I've got
figure out,
one.
like- okay, you got one. You want to go back to back?
I'll go back to back.
You go back to back.
Chili's.
Chili's is a good one.
It's not necessarily the best place
got
to
mine.
watch a game, but it's Chili's. If there's a TV and you get a good
Yeah.
table, you're in business, baby. So I got B-dubs and chili. You are screwed.
So, after this pick, I'm not. Texas Roadhouse. It was my spot in college. We used to go there for our friends' birthdays. We'd go ride the saddle. If you guys have celebrated birthday at Texas Roadhouse.
That's not how you watch football, though.
Great. Dude, they're loaded with TVs. They're
If
loaded.
you sit near the bar.
No,
So-
trust me. Texas Roadhouse is a sleeper to watch a game.
So, quick, personal story here. Before this job, my last job was in Wyoming, and it was near Salt Lake City. And whenever I went down to Salt Lake, I had to go to Texas Roadhouse. And in Salt Lake City, you may not know this, they're not huge on drinking there. Mormons,
Makes sense, yeah.
they don't do it. And they removed all the bars from the Texas Roadhouse. So, like, it was as if you almost felt like you were going to Pompeii and you were walking over where this used to be a house. Like, this used to be a bar right here.
Yeah.
And now it's just tables. And, like, you can see where they used to be. And it was not optimal for watching football.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got a good one, and I'm going to steal it from the audience. I'm going to use my
Cool.
lifeline. It's Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks?
I can't
Okay.
say the AKA, but I think if you look at the chat, you can see it yourself. Sonia thinks TGI Fridays back in the
Wow.
day. I don't hate
Okay.
that, but Twin Peaks. I got B-dubs, Chili's, and Twin Peaks.
That's an elite 3.
That's an elite 3 right there.
I'm going to close it out.
You can't beat that. Mr. Girthy, let's go. We'll put this one up
That's
on
a great
screen. This show's getting off the rails right now.
Yeah.
We have not talked about a snap of football in maybe 20 minutes.
It's been
the
a
best
half
20
hour.
minutes.
So my last pick.
Oh, yeah, your last pick.
I'll go tilt to kill.
Tilted kill?
Yeah,
like all
tilted
5
kill.
of them left?
Yeah, there's one in Oak Brook. There's
Yeah,
one in Oak
your
Brook.
hometown.
So
Right near your hometown.
I've been there one time. Good time. Similar vibe to Twin Peaks and Hooters.
Yeah.
But you take
You got
this,
an
Petey.
F1, marry one, kill one. B-dubs, Hooters, Twin Peaks. I am marrying B-dubs. I used to be in love with B-dubs. I fell out of love, and then I fallen in love with B-dubs.
Okay.
The only issue is the B-dubs near where my apartment is. You walk in there, it's chaos. It is seat yourself, almost serve yourself. They are so understaffed and overwhelmed. And every time I've gone, the waitress has said, "This is my first day." And it's been like, what's the turnover rate?
Yeah.
So I'll still go B-dubs. I'm going to marry B-dubs. I'm going to F.
It's got to be Hooters.
I'm going to F Hooters.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I would go.
I'm mostly for the price difference.
yeah.
And I'm going to kill Twin Peaks.
Yes.
But it is close. Are you the
Yeah.
same?
Yeah. I have same picks. I don't think it's close. I would kill Twin Peaks. Think about marrying Hooters, but
There goes the Twin Peaks sponsorship.
sorry. Yeah, I know. You gotta get a Hooters sponsorship.
Mr. Girthy, what's your
yeah, Mr. Girthy.
give us your answers here.
I feel like Mr. Girthy's marrying Twin Peaks.
Yeah, he feels like I get big Twin Peaks vibes
Big
from them.
Twin Peaks guy.
Yeah, Mr. Girthy's kind of like a middle of December, January, February. He's wearing a Hawaiian in the winter, and he's like, let's go to Twin Peaks, baby.
The Browns just won the noon game. He's
Right,
feeling good.
exactly.
Let's go watch the Sunday night game at Twin Peaks.
I
respect
couldn't agree more. That sounds like
respect
a
it.
wonderful Sunday night. Okay, Mr. Girthy, his response. We'll show it for everyone to see because it's that funny.
Yeah. What the?
Oh, there it is. Marrying Hooters and killing B-dubs.
Honestly, can't disagree with you, man. Just because of how passionate you are about Twin Peaks. We might have to go to Twin Peaks tonight instead of P-dubs.
Yeah, I don't even know what the nearest Twin Peaks is. There is one nearby. There is.
That's hilarious.
Okay. I think we're going to wrap it up. We'll
Yeah.
put the shot clock on. Another 60 seconds, and then we got to go.
We're the end of Mr. Girthy.
Yeah.
That's
Anyone
pretty
wants
funny.
another F1, marry one, kill one, you got about 60 seconds to do it. If not, we've got to relinquish the studio space to someone else.
The Browns play this Sunday, by the way.
The
If you guys
Browns do
didn't
play
know.
this Sunday.
The Browns
I
have a
think
game
they
this
play,
week.
was it the Giants? No, it's the Bills, a different
Yeah,
New York
it's
team.
yeah.
Yeah. I think they won last week too.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, predict the
Here's
score.
some football.
Here's your football talk right here. F Pitt, yep. We have maintained an audience
We have.
through this
One of
wing and
place
restaurant
to
debate
watch a
here.
game.
Yeah, best place to watch a game. You're just helping us pick where to go for
Yeah.
Thursday Night Football. In 2.5 hours or so, we'll probably get our show on the road here. Okay, so another 20 or so seconds. There's like delay from YouTube to what you guys actually get, so we always add on some additional time to make up for that. Thought we had the buy already.
Yeah.
We can play this game here. Pick one to cut: wings, pizza, or chips and dip. Seeps and I
said
agreed.
Pizza. I think it has to be.
Yep. I think you got to cut pizza.
Yeah.
Okay. I think with that, we'll give another 10 seconds. If we don't get another super chat, we're going to have to pack it up and
Yep.
turn it over to Seahawks today because Tyler Jones is ready to talk about Geno Smith winning MVP. That was insane week one. Who saw that coming?
Nobody.
Geno started off like 15 for 15.
Yeah.
It was incredible to see him do that. All right. Appreciate
Shout out to you guys.
all of you guys for tuning in. Unless we get some hero at the last second here, we're going to have to go. But hey, if you made us a part of your day today, thank you very much. This is my favorite hour and a half of block of time other than Sundays during the entire week. Seeps, it's got to be up there, I think, for
It's
you.
definitely up there. Chopping it up with Petey, talking Browns football.
Talking brownies, baby.
Nothing. Or talking wings,
Hey,
talking whatever
wings,
we're talking about.
whatever. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us, tuning in. We will
Shout out to
see
you guys.
everyone on. Yeah, literally, Tyler Jones just opened the door. Oh, that's Coop.
Wow.
Well, no, I mean, I thought it was. Okay, you get the point. I'll explain it later. But we will see everyone Sunday, 12:45 Eastern, 11:45 Central. Browns, Jets, Week 2 watch party right here at the channel. Greasy Flight, thanks for the entertainment.